All right. I think that's it. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining April's Webex Developer webinar. Yeah, we're sneaking this one at the end of the month, so we can say it's in April, right?
Yeah.
My my name is Phil Belanti. I'm from the Webex Developer Evangelism team. So today's webinar is going to be a lighter topic than we usually have. This one's going to be presented by my manager, Adam Weeks. He's going to go over the ins and outs of the Webex Developer Beta program. And as you see at the top of the webinar, we are using Slido to run some polls. And for Q&A, we made the Slido app available inside the Webex client. But if you prefer, you can join from your mobile device. Just use that QR code that's shown here. We always love to hear your feedback, so we encourage everybody to participate in the Slido. So let's do our first Slido, why don't we? So we can see where everybody's joining this webinar from.
Yeah, get everybody into the Slido routine and get them going.
Yeah, I'm joining from the Orlando, Florida area.
That's funny. So am I.
Hey, what a coincidence.
Yeah, somehow Phil and I both ended up in the same area.
Yeah.
Bradenton, okay.
Oh, Bradenton. Okay, that's not too far away.
Arkansas. All right.
Very nice. Arizona, Arkansas. Wow, look at Florida representing. Maybe they should build a Cisco office closer to us.
All the beta testers in Florida.
Montreal. All right.
All right. Now we're spreading out. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
Germany. Awesome.
All right. We going global now.
Okay.
Panama. Wonderful.
All right, we want to move. Ready to move on?
Yeah, let's do it. So,
all right. So we got a nice group.
Yeah. So, before I hand it over to you, Adam, I'm going to highlight some of our Webex developer news and updates for the month of April. And everything you see here is mentioned on our blog page, and that's developer.webex.com/blog. So that first item here, that's a new blog posted by cloud engineering technical leader Anupam Mukherjee, and that's on the topic of evaluating generative AI performance in Webex Contact Center. So in this article, you're going to discover how the scoring system in Webex Contact Center ensures top-tier quality, consistency, reliability, and AI-generated outputs. So you'll learn about innovative algorithms, contextual assessments, and the importance of responsible AI in creating more accurate and trustworthy content. So that's a good one. Anupam's been posting a lot of great blogs around AI. So number two, this is a great new blog post that I published. Yeah, toot my own horn. But this details a recent update to the Meetings API. This update allows meeting hosts to automate the setup of live streaming of their meetings, and through services like IBM Video Streaming, Facebook Live, vBrick Rev, YouTube Live. So this feature is great to help your meetings reach a wider audience. We see like live product launches, company announcements, expert panel discussions, things like that, where you don't have to blast out a bunch of invites. You could just do a live stream of your meeting. And this API allows you to automate that whole setup. This blog shows you how it all comes together with the Meetings API, increase your exposure of important meetings. And then number three, one of our other developer evangelists, Joe Zanini, he published his third installment of the blog series, the A to Z of Webex Contact Center APIs. So in this series, That's where we traverse the vast set of RESTful API endpoints available for Webex Contact Center developers. But in this edition, Joe covers the audio file APIs and how audio files are used in Webex Contact Center ecosystem. That's another good one from Joe. And
So
then
this is the third one, right? Third one in that series, and we're still on the A's. Man, we
yeah, exactly. We're
there's a
still
lot.
waiting for the piece. Like I said, it's a vast collection. So I think we're almost at the end of the A's. But the fourth item is a blog post from Webex software engineer Rudrakshi Srivastava, where she shows how the PageNate app simplifies access to sizable content. So, PageNate, it's a powerful GUI tool. It's designed to streamline robust interactions with the Webex API. So it enables you to execute a variety of queries and then efficiently export the results. Particularly beneficial when you're dealing with extensive data sets that require pagination, such as retrieving comprehensive list of WebEx spaces. I think we can all relate to that who use WebEx messaging. But this topic is brought up often to our developer support team. So I think many folks are going to probably benefit from that article.
Yeah, it's a handy tool. I'm embarrassed to say I didn't actually know it existed until they dropped the blog. So hopefully everybody else has a chance to check it out too.
Yep, exactly. So everyone's looking for a more elegant way to do, pagination for, these large data sets. So it's a great way to do it. And then last but not least, this is actually points to a very popular blog post that was published a few years ago, and it's recently been updated for 2025. This one was by technical solution specialist Taylor Hansen. This one covers the WebEx API rate limits that are in place. And those are in place mainly to protect from distributed denial of service attacks. These limits will vary depending on the API calls being made, how resource intensive that the call is on the servers, and how many servers are actively in routing. So these limits are dynamic, just to make sure all active apps are protected, from failure, whenever a large batch of requests come in. So this blog is going to show you how to handle these API rate limits in your app and keep everything running smoothly. So check out those 5 whenever you get a chance over on our blogs page. But that concludes the news and updates for this month. I'm going to hand it off to Adam for the main presentation that we all came for. Adam, please, without further ado, take it away.
Thank you, Phil. Yeah, and just one quick other thing of news is, you may notice I'm wearing my Cisco Live shirt. We've got Cisco Live in San Diego coming up next month. Or actually, well, we're not May yet, so almost next month in June. And we've got a ton of developer content all around Cisco in the DevNet zone and Cisco U. We'll also be presenting. We'll also have a booth in the DevNet zone. So if you are attending or planning on attending, please come and see us. And we'd love to meet and talk with all of our developers out there. So what we're talking about today, when you're talking about the Webex Developer Beta webinar, my name is Adam Weeks, as Phil said. I am the manager of Webex Developer Evangelism within the Webex Developer Relations team. And I've been an engineer for Webex for almost 8 years now, and on the evangelism team for about 3 or 4 years. So really excited to talk to you about one of this fairly new product we have for our Webex Developer Betas. Quick overview with the agenda. It's quite a fun one. We're just going to go over the what, whys, hows, and wheres about our beta. The agenda is pretty solid here. We've got I've got Q&A. We also, like Phil said, we've got our Slido open. So if you've got Q&A as it's coming across, feel free to drop it in there and we'll cover it at the end. But let me get started and talk about before we get in there, we're going to do another Slido, and I want to know about if you've participated in any other beta programs before. All right, we got a nice little mix here so far. All right, we got a lot of people that like the 0-dot versions of software.
Oh, yes, go early adopters.
Right. I'll give it just a few more seconds to let people in. So we can, it's good to know if you've had experience in other beta programs or not. And let's see, I'll move on to the next one. Thank you for those answers, and we'll go on to the next one. And I want to know if you're already enrolled in our Webex Developer Beta. Got some folks that are already there. That's good. Maybe new to you. We'll have quite a bit of content about what the beta program is, and then once you get in, how to become a better beta tester. Okay. All right. I like seeing people that are ready to sign up. Cool. So appreciate you participating in that poll, but let me just go into what our Webex Developer Beta is. So Webex has a beta program for our clients and devices, and about a year and a half ago, we decided to let's give our beta testers access to some of these pre-release Webex developer features. That's including some new APIs that are coming out, SDKs that are out, maybe even the new developer beta portal. All these types of things that allows you to test out some of these new features for Webex developers. We've got a quite good community already of people that are really excited about the Webex Developer Beta program and have been signed up, and they're engaged in testing things out and providing feedback. And it is like it says here, it is a feedback-driven improvement loop. So this is early access software, early access APIs, and we're looking to you for our partners and customers and our admins and everybody else that are using our APIs now to kind of help shape that and provide that information back to our engineering and product teams before these things get released. So before we jump into that, though, I want to talk to you about what that actual beta program it lives on, and it's a product called Center Code. So we utilize Center Code to operate all of our Webex betas, including the devices, including the clients, and now the Webex Developer Beta is on that as well. If you've been on that before, you can go to gobeta.webex.com, and that's where you can get in there. I'll have a link for you, specific link for you to sign up for the Webex Developer Beta program. You can't sign up directly by going to Go Beta, but I'll give you that link here in just a minute. But it is part of that Webex Developer Beta program when it's on that Center Code platform. And that Center Code platform allows us to really iterate through and collect feedback without having to do things where like we used to. If you've participated in any betas earlier, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we'll have the product and engineering would set up a space, and you would keep contact in there and provide your feedback there. This provides us with a one-stop shop and one place to go for all of our betas. So what exactly has been in the betas before? So here's a few different examples of things that had just recently closed. We had our Webex Click to Call beta that we got some great feedback on. And that was like using the SDK to have a WebRTC call directly within the browser. The Web SDK multi-stream feature, that was a hugely asked for feature. I actually was an engineer on the Web SDK for many years. And the multi-stream feature was a highly requested feature. And when it came out, we wanted to get it in front of our beta testers as quickly as possible. So we got that out there for them and got some really good feedback and got some of those things implemented that our testers found out. And one of the ones that one of our biggest betas that just closed was the Converged Developer Portal. So if we've got a Webex Contact Center, and we've got our Webex Developer Portal. There has 2 separate portals. They're coming together as one, and they will be converged shortly. We got some really, really great feedback from our testers on that. We also have a few that are, when you log into the Go Beta platform, you'll see that you've got some activities, and that's what we call each one of those different beta projects. So they're different activities for the beta testers to complete. Right now, what's going on, so we've got AI Assistant for Webex developers in beta right now. That converged developer portal, like I said, just closed, and we'll be nearing GA very soon. And then we also have our what's running right now is our new Webex Contact Center SDK. So that's really a few things that are running right now. So it depends, if you're just want to test out some AI assistant features, you can try that out. Or if you're a contact center developer, if you're one of our partners that are building on top of the contact center and embedding contact center functionality, that you may want to check out that beta project. So what is in it for you? So, as a developer, you want to be able to prepare for things coming down the road, especially if you've got some feature requests in and you're starting to see these features start coming to you. You get early access to test those features out to make sure that they're operating the way you expect them to. And if not, it gives you the ability to really provide that feedback back to our product and engineering team and influence the roadmap decisions on how those features will actually function once they get GA'd. Another thing that's really important to a lot of folks, including myself, is just being ahead of the curve, right? And knowing what's coming before the world does. So if you know that feature's coming, you can probably put it in your roadmap and say, you know what, I'm gonna add this feature to my product and put that in there as well. And then finally, of course, the recognition in the community. So this is a new thing that we're going to be implementing within the Webex Developer Beta program, is getting some more recognition for our beta testers out there. And that segues into the next Slido poll that we want to hear from you about, is for that recognition, how would you like to be rewarded or recognized as a Webex Developer Beta participant? So we've got things, we've got Credly badges for LinkedIn that we can do, that you can show off and say, yep, I'm an early access person for Webex developers. We can do Webex, talking about Cisco gift cards. So everybody likes gift cards and money and things like that. Webex developer swag. We've got, if you've seen before, we've got shirts and stickers and things like that, but we'll put together some things like that for Webex developers in the beta side, on the beta side. And then if you have any other ideas, feel free to drop it in the meeting chat or throw it in the Slido. But yeah, it looks like the gift cards are highly regarded, and the Credly badges, yeah. So
surprise.
yes. I know, I like the Cisco gift cards too. We've got some pretty good Cisco branded merchandise. I don't know if you've seen any of that McLaren stuff, but it's pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's really nice.
All right. So what happened? So here's that link that I was telling you about, how you go about signing up. We've got a short URL, that cs.co. That's our Cisco short URL host, cs.co/Webex Developer Beta. What's going to happen is when you get there, you're going to get some information about the Webex Developer Beta program to decide if you want to actually join the test and what's required of you. You'll go through that. When you hit that, you'll hit that in. You'll log in with your Webex account that you want to join the beta program with. So once you do that, you'll go into a participant profile forms. There's 2 or 3 screens for filling out the profile. Some things talk about, like, what functionality you're using, what are you looking for, what part of the Webex ecosystem are you a part of? Are you using Webex meetings? Are you using Webex Contact Center? Are you using anything else like that? So that you'll be filling those participation profiles out. The next step, once you get that profile filled out, is that you will sign a Webex beta test agreement. So this is a legal agreement between yourself and Cisco, talking about what the contingencies are for beta testing, knowing that these things are beta features that are coming out, and it could be possible. Some of the highlights on the beta test agreement is that the features aren't guaranteed to release. So make sure you know about that. One of the biggest things that, luckily I'm Cisco, so I'm breaking this part right now, but it's it's an NDA to not talk about what's within the Webex Developer Beta. But since this is a public one, we've got this out there. We want to go ahead and show you guys what all is out there for you. So you'll go through, read this beta test agreement, you'll sign it. Once you sign in, you get access to the Webex Beta program. This tool, it'll give you quick little highlights of how to go about using the platform. But instead of reading this, I'm going to go through and show you myself. So from there, we'll go into our demo of the actual beta program. So let me just switch over here. All right. Bill, if you can give me a thumbs up, if you can see my screen, that would be great. And no longer the PowerPoint.
I can see it.
All right. So this is what happens once you log into that Go Beta platform. You will see this getting started guide. So this is what's, where we've got some feedback, issues, praise, ideas, and questions. So that's the feedback provided by our beta testers. The feedback is, like I said, this is the beta testers are a community. So it's not a one-to-one communication. We're all, listing out what some of the issues are that we're having. So actually we can go in, I'll go back into those in just a second, but I just want to show you about what the activities are. So these, like I said, these activities are things for the beta testers to actually test out themselves and how to go into doing it. So let's say I'm going to take a look at this Converge Developer Portal. I opened this back up just for the webinar, but like I said, it's been it has closed already. But I'll give you a quick tour of what this test activity is. We've got, an introduction about what the feature is and what it's talking about. And you get some information about what the benefits of that feature might be. Some of our product engineering teams, especially this one, will share some vidcasts. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what you're about to test, we've got some vidcasts for you to try out. And what the scope of the beta actually is will be in here for a lot of times. Sometimes it will have limitations on things that are known to not be working. But yeah, it'll give you, so the next thing you'll do is it'll give you actually kind of steps to go in and testing. So for this beta, I'll scroll back up here real quick to show you that we had a survey that allows you to go in and agree to this beta, because what's happening here is that once you agree to this beta, you're going to have a feature flag enabled on your account that you're signed into your Go Beta platform with. And that feature flag will then change the way the developer portal looks for you for this particular feature. Other features, some features, they are not hidden behind feature flags, and they'll give you different ways of testing it. But a lot of the betas that we have go through, and they will have the feature flag enabled for your account. So once you get enabled into the test, you'll have that feature available for your Webex account. So what you're doing, you go through, you're going to follow through testing this, so for this one, we'll just talk about, all the things that you tested in the Converge portal, testing about like the new navigation, the header navigation, and the side navigation. One of my favorite features that has now been brought back on the Converge Developer Portal is that you're getting your temporary access token directly from the header. That feature has been gone for a while. I don't know if you've got any long-term WebEx users are out there, that was a highly used feature. So we're happy to see that one come back. And for your testing, it doesn't have, it's a very limited duration access token, but it's great for if you're testing some scripts, or if you want to, throw a quick Python script together and you need to get an access token and you don't really want to build an integration. This is a quick way to do it. Enough of that part. I kind of go down a rabbit hole on that, because that feature is so near and dear to my heart. So we've got some different paths, things to try out, different APIs to test out. As we know, we've got our try it feature on our developer portal. It's changed a little bit on our new Converge portal, so we asked you to test it out and see how it felt, and then a few different things that you might want to try out. Creating an embedded app, trying the GraphQL API from Contact Center if you're using that on the developer portal. since the GraphQL is a new API for our Converge portal, not for a contact center portal, but for the Converge portal. Some of those types of things are out there for you to test out. And then ask you to share any detailed feedback to the beta portal. And like I said, here at the bottom, you see there's limitations. So these are the known things that engineering and product know that are issues and limitations for that particular feature. So you don't really have to report them as if they're listed on here, but you could put an idea in and say that you want to try it, that you'd love to see this feature when it's ready. And one big thing that we're seeing is that our beta tests run for each different activity. They'll run a different amount of time. But there's no way, there's not really a way of cutting off and saying, yep, I'm done testing. And so that's where this have you completed this activity? Where it comes in is that we want you to be able to say, all right, I think I'm good on testing. I've tested what I want to. So I'm going to mark this, yes, I've completed this activity. And what happens is once you mark the activity as complete, then you get a chance to provide a little bit more feedback on that feature to our product and engineering teams as well. So you can go in here, you can say, yep, I'm going to rate my satisfaction. I'm going to say that was a 5-star on that feature. And then you'll see once I've rated my satisfaction, it's telling me to complete a survey on this one. So some beta features will have this, some others won't. Most of them will have some sort of survey that we ask you to fill out once you're ready, once you feel that you're confident in testing this feature. And I do want to mention that just because you're marking the activity complete doesn't mean you lose access to the beta feature. You can still continue to test it after doing this survey. So don't be concerned about that. It's just a good way to provide that feedback. And I'm going to show you what that survey looks like here. So I'm going to go in here and take this survey. So this one was quite a bit of feedback on this one. We had some ratings on was it easy to find? How did it meet your requirements? Did the try it now feature work? Issues and limitations that you got while you were doing it. If you didn't report them, or if you did report them and you want to, give this back in the feedback here. Any other features you're expected to find? There's quite a bit on this one. If you're not done with it, you can save the draft or you can submit it. I'm not going to submit any of this right now. And also, I do want to mention that if you go in and you mark this as complete, it's not permanent. You can say, oh no, you know what? I actually did not complete this activity, but yes, I'm going to. So that's really how you go about testing some of these features that are in those activities. I do want to go back to our developer homepage and talk about, so if you encounter an issue while you're testing one of these features, how do I go about reporting this and letting the teams know? And that is through this feedback mechanism here. And this is what that center code I'm talking about calls out. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say, you know what? I did find an issue. There's something about the meeting API that wasn't working correctly. So I click in here and I type submit. I click submit. That I'm going to create an issue. And once I start typing, you'll notice that the ideas and the issues that other folks have had are listed on here as well. So like I said, this is a beta community. It's one of these things. It's almost like upvoting, right? So I don't really need to create an issue if this is exactly the issue that I was seeing. Someone else has already reported it. I can click this and say this is a match. If you don't see anything on here that matches what you're trying to report, you can still go ahead and create a new feedback. And you can type in the summary of the issue. And this is where you click that drop. These are those features for testing. So this aligns that issue that you're having with whatever feature that's open. So I'm going to say this is an issue on the Converge Developer Portal. And make sure that I picked the right one. I can even show the description, and I'll tell you what the description is of that feature. So yep, that's correct. Which platform are you experiencing this issue? Problem description, and even steps to reproduce the issue. A lot of these things are if you're having issues with the WebEx app, they're in here. So if you don't have if you don't have logs, or if you want to like send like your browser log, you can by attaching the files here. But I'm going to say no, and I can save this if I'm not ready for it yet. Ready to submit. But that's how you go about reporting those issues that you're having with any of those features that you're trying to test out. Now, if you notice, if we go back to our feedback areas, there's also not just issues. You can have, if you have ideas and you have things that you want to, um, ideas for improved functionality on a feature, perhaps, or a new way of doing something, that it's not really an issue. That's where those ideas come in. So you can punch in some ideas there. Praise, our teams love to hear, like, tell us what you like about that feature. That's a way of providing that feedback, not through an issue or an idea, but saying, yep, I really like the way that this was implemented. Like for me, if I was beta testing, I would throw in the praise about that, back to that access token in the header. Or if you just have a question that you want to take a look at, or you have a question that you have about the activity that you're trying to test, you can use that questions there. We'll call out that our issues are monitored by our developer support team. If they can't help you out with the issue, they will get that issue to our engineering and product teams and let them know that you're having these issues while beta testing. But yeah, I really appreciate the support from our developer support team about going through and reviewing these issues as well. But that's really the gist of what the developer program beta program is. And I did want to call out, so like I said, this is part of the main beta WebEx platform. By signing up for the WebEx Developer Beta, you can get access. You can even sign up for other beta things. So I'll show you about, so we've got this is the entire WebEx beta program. We have our developer suite project. That's what we were enrolled in right now. But there's also many other things for you if you're a WebEx user to test out. So a lot of different other orgs within WebEx have their betas. So like WebEx Suite, WebEx Contact Center, or WebEx Devices. All of these things you're able to enroll in their beta programs too. So like I said, one-stop shop for everything beta related. And so we'll go back into the WebEx Developer Beta. This is where you can get in. You can also access this feedback. One thing I forgot to mention is that all these things are available up here in the header for quick access to it, where you can submit that. And with that, I will switch back to our slides and kind of get us wrapped up here. So what are your next steps? Like I said, if you're not signed up already, go to that cs.co/WebEx Developer Beta site and URL and sign up. Share your feedback, join those projects, and try out all those features and activities. And really, we're looking forward to having you help shape the future of our WebEx Developer platform. So, like we said, go beta, break things, and help us build better. I'll leave this slide up here. I know this was a fairly quick one for everybody, but yeah, I don't know, Phil, do we have any Q&A?
We did have a couple that came in, so
Okay.
We have some time for that. But
Yeah.
the first one is, how do I get notified of new beta features?
Yeah, so whenever a new beta feature gets launched, actually, when you sign up, you will get your WebEx account will be added to a WebEx space for WebEx Developer Beta announcements. The first round of announcements goes out as a message in that space, but then the second round, usually the same day or the next day, you will get an email from the Developer Beta program announcing those new features are available for you to test.
Great. All right. We have a couple more here.
Okay.
The next one is, how is beta feedback prioritized and acted upon by engineering and product teams?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any sort of QA and testing that we have. As those issues are brought up, they are highly looked at and investigated and determined what the the priorities are, but they are high priority for our engineering and product teams.
Yeah, I know all of them are highly involved in in setting up the betas and stuff like that. So they all have personal
Yeah.
stake in it. And then there's another question here. How has the beta program influenced broader roadmap decisions?
By with those ideas and features that you have requested as part of those things that you're testing, you can shape maybe the V2 of that feature, right? So I know we've got a lot of ideas coming from the Converge portal beta that came out, and those ideas have already been put on the roadmap for the very next release of that Converge portal. So it is a way for you to get your voice heard as a tester that say, hey, yep, I tested this, and here's what I really would like to see to our product and engineering teams.
Yeah, so I would say highly influences
Yeah.
roadmap essentially. Yeah. Okay. Well, those were the questions that came in. I think we answered all of them.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
really
thank you.
good.
I hope everybody signs up for the developer beta. We think it's a great program, and it's been really beneficial for all the things that have already launched, and can't wait to see it grow even better.
And this webinar is recorded, so if you have any other colleagues or customers or others partners or anything like that that are interested in learning more about the beta, you can point them over to the recording, which should be made available within the next few days or so
Sure.
over on our webinars page. So we
Yeah,
definitely
we're
encourage you to share it.
even considering taking this recording and sending it out to our beta testers for our new beta testers to sign up and kind of give them a tour of the beta if they want to check it out.
Absolutely.
All right. And with that, I guess we thank you, everybody. And I hope you have a great day. And hopefully we'll see you at Cisco Live.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
Thanks.